Hello everybody, Bill Platt here, and one of the toughest things about starting a YouTube channel is where to start, especially with a subject like writing and publishing books, self-publishing your books to be more specific. But the question is, where do we begin this journey? So I'm going to tackle this. The most likely place to begin is with how to write the book. But I'm not going to start there because there's a lot of people out there who already have written their books. They're ready to publish now, but they don't know where to begin. So that's where I'm going to start this channel. I'm going to start with how to upload a book to Kindle. Kindle is Amazon's ebook program. We'll talk about the different things along the way. If you're doing a print book, you'll want to publish through something like CreateSpace. But if you're publishing a digital book, again, there's a dozen channels you can go to, but if you want to sell it within Amazon, you'll want to use Amazon Kindle. So let me show you real quick what that page is going to look like, and the actual address for it is KDP, as in Kindle Direct Publishing, .amazon.com. So all you need is an Amazon account to get started, and you will log in. And one of the things I must know at this beginning juncture, you can have more than one Amazon account, but you can only have one Amazon publisher account. So if you're going to publish books, pick out which account you're going to do that on if you have more than one account available. Go in and figure out which one you're going to use to publish your books. And then always use that profile to publish your books on Kindle. So this is the page you're going to come to when you go to kdp.amazon.com, and you can sign up for a free account. And then all you really need, and the thing that makes like Kindle so attractive to a lot of people, there isn't a steep learning curve with it. Like with CreateSpace, if you're publishing a print book, you need to make sure you get your margins right. You need to make sure you get your gutters right. You need to make sure that the book cover you design will cover the book no matter how many pages is inside that book. And there's a certain set of formatting, like you have to put your barcode on the back of the book in the lower right hand corner of the back side of your book. So you don't have to worry about any of that stuff with Kindle Direct Publishing. But if you were to go through CreateSpace, you would have to look into that. And so I'm going to cover a lot of information on this channel now and going into the future to help you get started in the self-published realm. And later I'll address different types of books to write, different opportunities for authors, stuff along that line. But for now, we're just going to focus on how to upload your book to Kindle. Because I did have somebody ask me about that this morning. So let me go ahead and get over to the other window. Now, I've already got my account. And I don't want to show my dashboard because that kind of reveals what books I've got out there and what pen names I'm writing under. And I really don't want to go down that route. So what we're going to do here is I'm just going to jump straight to, once you get into, you log in, there's a option there you'll see for create a Kindle book. So you click on that button and that brings you to this window right here. It's real straightforward. Everything here should be easy to understand, but I just want to go through it so that it will be more easy to understand. In the first section you've got your book title, then you have your subtitle if you're going to use that. If you have a series name, put that here, and the series number right here as well. And then your edition number, if you've released version 1 and then you did an update and you want to indicate a edition number, this is where you'll do that. Then you'll want to add your author name here, first name and last name. And then you'll put in your book description right here. And I do want to emphasize for anybody paying attention here that your book description is probably the most important bit of information you use on your book, the most important bit of information included here, because it is your book description that will sell your books for you. You can write on any topic in the world, but and you can write the best book or the worst book, it doesn't matter. What matters is this book description, because the book description is what readers use to make a decision whether they want to buy your book or not. So it's important to get this part right. So I'm going to pause here in just a second, but so I can go through and fill in some blank information here, so I can show you what the next page looks like. But your description is the most important part of your book listing. Your second most important is your actual book, and we'll talk about that here in just a minute as well. Then there is the publishing rights. You either own the copyright or it's a public domain work. Your keywords are things that people might type into Amazon when they were looking for your book. So if you have a book that's contemporary romance fiction, you would want to include contemporary romance here as one of your keywords, your optional 7 keywords. Then you would put in, like, maybe it's a Christian romance, and you'll put that in there as well. So these are keywords that people would type into the Amazon search bar in order to find your book, and you can include up to 7 of them. Then you've got your categories, and this is just basically you click it and you navigate to the category that most appropriately describes your book. And then you can select your age range, which is optional, and the grade range, which is optional, but this is primarily if you're doing children's books. And then you let them know you're ready to release your book now, or make it available on pre-order. I'd never use the pre-order. You only want to do that if you're launching like a big major rollout for a particular book. I don't do that. This is for people who would want to pre-order it before it was ready in print. So I'm going to put you on pause real quick, and I'm going to fill in some junk information here so that we can go to the next page. Okay, now that I have all the information typed in, I'm going to show you what it is, just so that you can get a base understanding of the minimum information necessary to go to the next page. So the minimum is you need a book title in there, subtitle is optional, series name and number is optional, edition number is optional. You do need to have a name of the author, whether it's your own name or a pen name, it does not matter. I write about half of my books under my own name, and the other half I write under pen names. If there's like a alternate, if you had like a second author who co-wrote the book with you, you would include that here. The only book that I really included a contributor with, I had a lady take some photographs for me for a particular set of books, and she is listed as a photographer. And so if you click the down arrow here, you're going to see other options: narrator, photographer, who wrote the preface, illustrator, forward, editor, whatever. And then your book description is here. And then you let them know whether you own the copyright for it, which means you wrote yourself, or it's a public domain work. And I'm not going to get into the public domain side of it right now, other than to mention if your book is based on the information published elsewhere, you will need that you did not write originally, then you'll need to select the public domain work. Your keywords, keyword 1, keyword 2, keyword 3, you can do up to 7 of them. Then set your categories. When you click on that, you just navigate down, and I went ahead and let me go ahead and take that one off. And let's just say, for example, I did business mathematics, and then I wanted a second category, and let's call it information management. So when you click those boxes, it selects your categories here, and then you go ahead and click save, and you're off to the next part of it. This wouldn't be a children's book, so I won't select age and grade, and I'm ready to release my book now. I do not want to use the pre-order. And let me go ahead and click save and continue. and it's just going to take it just a minute to load up, and it'll take you to the next page. Now on this next page, your main thing is you do have to select whether you do digital rights management or not. I always go with no on digital rights management, unless you understand why to select yes. You would want to skip that. You would just want to go with no on that. Then you upload your book manuscript, and let me put on pause real quick. Okay, I just had to make sure I was getting into the right folder here. I did put together just a one-page book. It's just got a title in it, just a basic manuscript, and then we upload that here, and then we go to the cover creator part. Now, it's important. Let me show you real quick the actual document. The document I just uploaded is this right here. You just basically load your book into a standard Word document, and I'm using LibreOffice to create this, but I'm saving it. When I save it as a Microsoft Word document. So I did the save as, and then right here I select Microsoft Word 97, which is the doc format, and instead of the docx, which is here. But just save it as a doc and then save it down, and I'm going to override it just cause. But this is all that's in my manuscript here. You don't worry about what your margins are, your left or right margin, top or bottom margin. Just do whatever is default in your word processing application, and then we'll go ahead and then you go ahead and save it. So you upload the book here, and then you can either upload your own cover here, upload a cover you already have in JPEG or TIFF format, and you just basically, the size considerations there, you do want to do like an 8.5 by 11 or a 6 by 9, and you want to save it as 300 DPI, so 300 dots per square inch. Or you can use their cover creator, and that's real easy to use. When you get into it, you'll just click on continue, and then you can choose from images they have available or what you have on your own computer. Let me go with images they already have available, and they've got several categories here, so you can select a category. And let me do this. Let me jump in here, and okay, I want to use New York City for my image. So we're going to use this image, and then it loads up in these default templates here. So we've got these different designs we can work with. You just pick a design that looks good to you, and this one I like. This one I sometimes like. Let's see, let me go ahead and go back on that. Let's see, no, I clicked the wrong button, so let me start over. We'll do that. That's what the problem is. Yes, I want to start over. Okay, so I can either go with this format here or this one here. Any of these really would work. I tend to favor this one, this one, this one, and this one. I don't like this one because I don't like it having the vertical text. I just think that's silly, but it might work for you and it might not. I have used this one, the angled, one time, and I don't know if I'll ever use it again. But let me go ahead and go with this right here as my cover. And then when you get in here, you can just click on that area there, and then you can do a little bit of formatting. Not awesome formatting. We can go in here and change the font size a little bit. Let's see, take it on up to 36. And then if I want to change the color of that, I can do that right here. Let me make that a bright blue. That's probably not going to work well for us. Let's go with a dark blue, and then we'll go with that. So we can't really change the color of this background here. I don't like that part about it. And we can't change the background here. And the thing I really dislike about this is I can't resize it. But I can grab the image here and reset it where it's more appropriate to, it'll fit better with my style. So I can work with that image and move it around, and then maybe I don't like the blue there. Let me go ahead and change this over and make it a red, and that doesn't look too hot either. So let me go back to white. But here's the thing too, we can do choose colors here, and we can go with color schemes that they've made available for us. So if I go to this one, it changes all the background colors for me, but it's leaving it in a format that they've pre-decided for me, not one I would decide for myself. So maybe I go to this one that changes the colors a little bit, and I can look at some of these others, and maybe I find something I like better. And I'm not really seeing anything that really stands out. That might work. I don't like that yellowish green color. So let me try this one. So yeah, that might work out well for me. So then I can also choose my layout. And so I've got this basic template here, and I can come in and change things around a little bit. Like maybe that right there would work really well. And actually I think that would work really well. So let me go to my fonts here. I can actually change the fonts according to settings they have for us. So with this one they're using Ubuntu on the book title and on my name, and my subtitle is Open Sans. And I don't actually have a subtitle in this one. So once I've got it set up like this, maybe I like this, let me go ahead and center this. I do like centered better. So now here's my design. It looks really nice. I decided I like it, so I just go ahead and click save here, and it allows me to save that book cover. And then now that I've saved it, I can go back to my actual book. So now I go ahead and click the X here, and it'll take me back to this page here. And it'll take a minute for this to load up because I've already saved it, but I bet I can reload the page. And my book manuscript is still uploaded, and my cover is not ready yet. And the last time I did this, it took about 45 seconds for that cover to show up. And then we go ahead and launch Previewer and make sure that the book we made is exactly the book we want to publish. So from the preview, I can see my first page here. And let me see if I go back. Yeah. So it showed me, yeah, it's just the one book. So let's go back to details. Or just the one page. And see if my cover is loaded yet. And that's the only thing I find annoying about this. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer to have that cover show up. Let me go ahead and launch the cover creator again. And it does load up with what I saved. So let me go ahead and save this again. And then I'll go back to the previous page and see if it loaded up this time. And it's not loaded up. So let me go ahead and assume it's going to load in just a minute. I've already previewed it. It looks good. If I have an ISBN number that I purchased from myidentifiers.org or Bowker, you can put that there. If you want to use a publisher name, you can put that right here. And let's go ahead and save and continue. And if there wasn't a cover saved, it would not let you go to this page. So that's how we know that they actually see the cover. Then you can enroll it in KDP Select. That's basically the internal promotion engine for Kindle books. But the downside of going with Kindle Select is you are promising Amazon that you will not sell this book anywhere else but on Amazon. You can do like a print version on CreateSpace, but your digital version is only available on Amazon. So some people choose that, some people don't, and I choose it for about 25% of my books. And then you can select all territories worldwide or individual territories. With that, you can select which countries you want to sell in. But I always do all territories. And then your pricing, if you do KDP Select, then you can get into the 70% range. If you do not do KDP Select, I think you can do it whether you're in KDP Select or not. But the important thing is, in order to be at the 70% range, you have to price your book between $2.99 and $9.99. So right here, it's giving me, if I sold it for 70 cents, I would make $2.09, or 70%. I would make $2.09 per copy sold. And if it was a 35%, then I would make $1.05 per copy sold. And the way it breaks down, there are some countries where Amazon distributes where we only get 35%. But most everyone else would get 70%. And that's really set by their side, and it has to do more with regulations in those countries. Now you can select Kindle Matchbook if you have a print version of this book also. The Kindle book lending is automatic if you're in the KDP program, and then they let you know it can take up to 72 hours for your book to be available, and then you publish your Kindle book. And I'm not going to do that simply because it's a blank book. There's only one page. So I'm not even going to save this thing because I don't want them to have to go through and shoot it down for me. So let's go back to the previous page here. We'll save and continue. And it's at this point, all my information is saved. I just have to tell it to publish. And I'm still waiting for my book cover to come up. So let me try one more time, see if we can't get to load. And it's still not loading. So it could be my browser too this evening, because my browser has been acting odd. But let's see, go back to book details, because I'm in the wrong one here. And then let's launch book cover once again and make sure it loads up correctly. And then, yes, it's loading up correctly. And let's do a preview. That may be what I'm missing here. But sometimes we have to preview these things to make sure they're right. And it'll take just a minute here to load this up. They're building my cover, and there's what my cover looks like. Then I save and submit. I bet that's why it wasn't loading right. So as soon as we save and submit, we should see the book cover load up on the page here. So it's uploaded successfully. They're processing the file, and it may take a minute for the file to actually process, but once it does, you will see your cover load up right here, so you can see what your cover looks like. And it's still processing, so we'll give it just a second here. But this entire process that I've gone through now is all that's required to publish a book on Amazon Kindle. Once we've gone through this process and hit publish, then it could take anywhere from 12 to 24 to 72 hours for Amazon to approve our book. And what they're going to be looking for, some of the things they're going to be looking for is that you're not using text available on websites somewhere. So this is actually stuff that you've written. And if it flags up and says, well, this information appeared somewhere else, you can override that and then explain to them that, yes, this is your book, and then you'll be good to go. So let me try one last time to see if my cover will load here. And there it is. Okay, so that's what I was missing. So there's my book cover, and it's a really pretty book cover. And now I've got my manuscript loaded here. And then when I save, I set my prices and then I go to publish. And that's the main thing here. So as you see, it's not really a difficult process. It's just having everything in line and knowing that the book manuscript is ready. And it's just saved in doc format with no special formatting. And then you set up your book cover and you set up all your information, your book title and your author name and your book description. Make sure all that stuff's right and set your pricing. And then as soon as you hit publish, like I said, 12 to 24 to 72 hours for them to approve the book. And once they approve it, it's live in the Amazon Marketplace. So I hope this has been helpful to you. My name is Bill Platt, and I will be doing a lot more videos on how to publish books online. This one was just focused on the Amazon Kindle, how to publish on Amazon Kindle. But I will be covering a lot of other topics as well. But the big question is, where do you start with such a vast network of information? And this is as good a place as any to get started. So thank you very much for tuning in. I am Bill Platt, and I will see you in the next set of videos. Thank you very much.